So I've been thinking a lot lately about a concept by French philosopher Albert Camus called philosophical suicide. First of all, it's not that intense. I don't know why he named it like that. I think he could have named it something a little bit less crazy. But either way, he did. He's gone now, so you can't really fix that. But the idea here is that philosophical suicide is whenever you decide to give up your own thinking, give up your own thoughts on things, and adhere to a pre-made system of belief. An obvious, very on-the-nose example of this here is religion, right? The idea of being like, instead of, for the next years to come, investigating my own morality and trying to develop, what I think right and wrong is, I'm going to, open the Bible or whatever holy book you want and be like, I'm just going to listen to whatever's in this book, and just go up that, and that is my morality. I will believe this is the word, and that any moving from that is wrong, right? That is what Camus defines as philosophical suicide. He says this because the second you do this, you are leaving so many questions that one day would maybe get answered or examined, and now you're taking them all and just throwing them out the window, right? I think that I do appreciate this concept because, as much as yes, I think it's a little intense, and I don't actually see, I don't see anything wrong with the idea of giving up. If somebody was like, I don't really want to do all this philosophy stuff, and I do just want to believe that I have a certain understanding of what right and wrong is, I think that's great. I do think that's good. And I can have an appreciation for somebody doing that. However, I also value the concept as somebody who is into all these things. I do think that I think it's great to have sort of a guiding idea of you're never gonna find the right one answer, and having a system that you make in your mind that is constantly evolving is what it's gonna be more like, right? I think that's very useful. However, kind of playing devil's advocate to myself here, I also think that the person who, let's say, I'm going to use the Bible here again because it's just the easiest example. I don't really know the name of any other holy books, if I'm being 100% honest with you guys. The person who just does that, they just take the Bible and they're like, all right, this is the right thing. This is going to be this is morality. Anything else is just bad and wrong, and this is what morality looks like. I think there's an argument made they're going to do way more good in their life than the person that spends their whole life reading philosophy and trying to pick the right system of ethics. You know what I mean? I think there's a really great argument that, again, I think it's important, removing all concepts of what is modern Christianity, what do people believe? Let's just say you took the moral lessons from anything, any system of morality. You could take Aristotle's system of morality and be like, I've never read Nicomachean Ethics actually, so maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know what his system of morality is. You can take Plato's system of morality, right? You could just be like, I'm going to just do this forever, and I'm going to, not question it forever. I think that person will probably do way more good, because I don't think they're going to spend time thinking about what right and wrong is. I think they're just going to do things that are probably in line with some semblance of morality, right? And I've been thinking about this in relation to doing everything. And I honestly, I'm thinking about is my adherence to not doing this holding me back? Is me telling myself that believing any preordained system of beliefs is wrong? Is that an idea that's actually deeply holding me back in my life, right? Because I've been thinking about it, and when I do anything, I think too much about it. I've talked a lot about how I'm an overthinker in my own life, and it should be no secret based on these videos, and how it's just led to me oftentimes getting paralyzed. I think this is a thing we can all relate to if you are somebody who has tendencies to sort of do that, of instead of just doing something that could be maybe some semblance of right or good or a step in the right direction, you spend too much time thinking about what is the right thing to do, If let's say you have a big test the next day or something like that, and you have 10 homework assignments, and you spend hours plotting out, how am I gonna get all this done, instead of just doing something, right? I think this is something I did that every day in high school. And I think maybe I've been scared that that's what my own existence is becoming, where it's I gotta stop thinking about things and just start doing. And even I see so many successful people who are like, yeah, I just believe in the Bible. It's just I follow that word exactly, and it's making me extremely successful. And I'm not saying that I think that because like there's some sort of like I'm not somebody who believes in any singular religion, right? So like I'm not saying this that I think like, oh, the Bible's probably the ultimate productivity book. I think though that these people believing in something and just moving based off that belief is getting them really far. And I was like, man, maybe I should try and do that. On the one hand, I think that me even wondering this myself is probably a bit just wrong. I think it's a faulty premise because I don't think I think somebody who, like, I don't think I could like gaslight myself into just like believing something forever, right? Like, I think that this is kind of just a natural process that's like happened, right? Of just like constantly changing your mind and flip-flopping on everything and being indecisive. But I think I've been thinking a lot about it, and is it holding me back, right? I've come to the conclusion that no, it's not. But I do think that like, I realize that just because, even if I do want to maintain a belief in this, and I'm going to go off the premise of this video, you know, these are maybe somewhat out there concepts. Maybe some of you aren't familiar with these things. Maybe if you're hearing about them for the first time, you're not going to be like, I 100% agree with that. But for the sake of argument here, I'm going to pretend that you're having my issue too. That you are somebody who is like, don't want to adhere to a system of beliefs, and I feel like it's maybe holding me back. I think if that's the case, I think the only actual system of beliefs that we need to adhere to in any regard is one of optimism. I think that that's probably the thing that, whether it's true or not, I mean, this is kind of a contradictory statement for the rest of this video, but I think it's actually impossible to be an optimist and like genuinely believe that like the right good thing will always happen, because there's just a whole lot of bad things happening all the time. Especially right now, it feels like, but I think at any time, they're just, you know, if you open any history book to any year, there's like 20 wars going on, and it's like, man, like, you know, like, some of these things just aren't going to be good, right? Like, it's a fact of reality that nothing's ever going to be like 100% happy and good and perfect. But ignoring that, looking at like our own lives, right? There's a part of me that's like, maybe just a delusional sense of radical optimism is the only path forward. Because if you focus on anything else, that's how it's going to end up, right? If you're focused too much on figuring out how to walk, you're never going to take steps, right? If you're like, maybe this trail is scary and insane in front of me, you're never going to keep walking forward. The only way to keep going is to believe that trail in front of you is actually really good, and there's something awesome waiting for you on the other side. And I think that that's how so many more of us need to keep acting, right? I know for me, like even in my own life, think about just success. And this doesn't have to do with anything with like this series at all. This is just like, you know, career, life in general, right? Like I've been thinking a lot about like man, like even if I work hard in life, there's so much luck that it takes to do anything, right? Like even if I do all the right things, you know, put those hours in, like what if I'm just not the guy that gets lucky? And like, it's either I got it or I don't, you know? And that's a thought that I've been thinking about lately that's kind of been getting me down. And not to make this about, I don't know why I'm making this so personal now. I don't know why I'm getting deep on you guys. But, you know, we're here. I think though, like, what I realized in that is like, you're gonna get lucky once or twice, right? Like, I've always looked at the story of Bill Gates. And he, by all metrics, was extremely lucky. He went to a high school, a private school, a very privileged upbringing that was where he was like given one of the first computers ever, right? He, in his classroom, was one of the first computers. And it's like, well, he got lucky. If he wasn't in that classroom, if he was born 10 streets over in, you know, another school district, well, it was private school, but you know what I mean, he would never have founded Microsoft. It's all just a big stroke of luck. And you know, I mean, that's true. Like that is undeniably true. That like your upbringing, where you're from, all these things totally do affect the statistical probability for outcome. But I think we forget too, like if Bill Gates didn't do Microsoft, we wouldn't be talking about how lucky he was put in that classroom with the computer, right? And like, think of yourself. Think of whatever you want to do, right? Maybe you want to be, you know, a CEO, whatever, right? imagine yourself when you've done it, when you've figured out whatever you want to do. What will people look back and be like, they were so lucky they had this? Because you probably already have it. It probably already happened. How many other kids were in that class with Bill Gates that also had access to that computer? So many. We're not talking about them being lucky. We're talking about him being lucky because he's the one that did it after. I don't know why I'm glazing Bill Gates. I really don't like the guy that much. But, like, it's true that, like, we're all lucky in some way. No matter what you will, there is some way in your life that you have encountered some random insane amount of luck. And if you start acting like it, then, you know, if you take that mindset of people, how they'll talk about how lucky you are when you're successful, and start applying that to every day, I think we'll all start noticing we're so much more lucky more often than we ever imagined we were, you know? Because you're living a long time, you're doing a lot of things, you get lucky. Everybody gets lucky enough, you know, so many people get lucky a million times and still fail. So many people get lucky once and succeed. I think that, yeah, the world is crazy in a million ways and so many people are working hard and who won't get their fair share and all these things, right? And these ideas do get me down. But I think the reason that, and maybe this video is turning into me giving more of a pep talk for myself than anything else, but I think that, like, yeah, the world is crazy and a million things are happening, a million people won't make it, but a million people will. And, you know, yeah, this one person you have to get super lucky to do what you want to do. But a million people are getting super lucky every day. You know, like, the only way to guarantee that you actually don't do whatever you want to do is by assuming that you're not going to be the one to do it. Like, that's how you fail. That's how you lose. So I don't know. I think, like, you know, do I want to adhere myself to a pre-made system of beliefs? No, I don't. I'm actually still very scared of it. It's still a little bit of a struggle I'm having. You know, I definitely haven't solved that question for myself. However, do I think that I can adhere myself to a system of beliefs while maintaining a radical amount of optimism and just, like, going through every day being like, no matter what, whatever, you know, this X will be good. You know, today will be good. Tomorrow will be good. This hanging out with my friends will be good. This, you know, I'll sleep good tonight. Whatever it is, maintaining a insane amount of optimism is probably the only thing that I actually need to, you know, keep walking to the trail ahead. So I don't know. Sorry, guys. This kind of turned into half of a pep talk for myself, I guess, along with a pain talk. But I don't know, I think this happens sometimes in these videos, and I'm always like, man, maybe I shouldn't put that out, like, people don't care about it, you know, like, oh, that's a me thing, I always think to myself, and I'm sure sometimes there are. I'm sure if you've been sticking around watching the series for any duration of time, which I thank you if you have been, even, you know, whether it's your first day or your 10th, that's, like, insane to me, so thank you, but I'm sure some of you have been watching these like, man, like, maybe this guy should get a journal or something. But I also do think, like, at the same time, like, I'm not that unique. Not that unique. I'm not a unique person at all. Like, I'm just, like, a normal guy who just, like, does normal things all the time. So, like, I feel like if I'm having a doubt about something, there must be somebody else who is too. Right? I don't know. That's how I center all my things. Like, so many people are focused on, like, this turning into a weird tangent at the end of this, sorry, but I feel like a lot of people are also focused on, like, oh, I need, like, a niche for this thing. I need to, like, do blah, blah, blah. And, like, for me, I've always just been like, no, like, you know, I don't know. I think what I do is cool in a day. I'm sure there's some other person that thinks it's cool too. So that's kind of just how I've always operated. But maybe, I guess this is a long way of saying sorry if this was unbearable. But I don't know. Maybe somebody else is having a similar question for themselves and is interested in it. So, you can call me a lot of things. You cannot call me dishonest, because this will unfortunately be uploaded still. This is the painting. I don't know what this is. I don't know if I like it. And I don't know what to call it. So my Instagram's in the description of the comments below if you want to follow that. I would usually try and tie this in somehow and be like, it'll be like I'll tell my thoughts on the Instagram. I don't know if I'll have thoughts. I don't know what this is. Till next time, guys, gals, and pals. My name is Max Dice. This is Paint Talk episode 252. I'm here every morning, painting, talking with you all.